the first story I want to bring up, which is Margot Robbie has said that she has not been approached about future DC projects. She says, "I've heard nothing. You can't get sick of Harley, though. I love her so deeply. I've always had high hopes for her, like Batman, a character that lives on long after I've had a go at it. I feel like I need to share Harley." Okay, so this is interesting because she's basically saying she hasn't heard anything, insinuating that there's a chance that maybe they will come and talk to her about being Harley Quinn in the DCU. But she's also stating, like, look, this is a character that can go on for decades, for years, for a millennia. It can go on forever, just like Batman, who's going to have different iterations throughout time. So she then says, "I feel like I have to share her," saying, like, look, I'm not going to be the only one that's ever going to play Harley Quinn. There's going to be other people that play Harley Quinn at some point in time. I don't know if she's just playing coy. I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out for sure. I personally think that, well, I'll get into that later on, but I think that she is a little overpaid now. Not overpaid. She's paid too much to jump into the DCU now, if that makes sense. Like, she's a high-end actress. In 2015, 2016, when they hired her on to do Harley Quinn for Suicide Squad back then, she was an up-and-coming actress. Now, she's a producer, she's an actress, a very successful actress. To really get her on a long-running franchise at this stage would cost a pretty penny. I would understand if James Gunn said, you know what, we're going to go in a different direction. And maybe they should. But I could also understand if they were like, we do need some characters and some actors in the DCU with star power. And that can, like, hold down their own. And Margot Robbie would be one of them. And that would be a good choice to go with. So I could see both sides of the coin here. I could definitely see why they would go either way. But I think from her standpoint, I also kind of think that would be a step back for her. I think in her eyes, she's on to better and bigger things. I think after the huge success with Barbie, I think you see a lot of other things that she's doing. There's no reason for her to step back into the comic book movie genre, especially where it's currently sitting. Again, you take a look back in 2015, 2016, the genre was on the rise. Her career was on the rise. It was perfect time to get in there as they were both on the rise. Right now, she's still on the rise. She's still getting, and she's way up there, but can get even higher. The genre is going down. Why would she want to hitch her wagon to that? And while DC could absolutely go on the rise again because of what they're doing with everything, would she want to risk that? Would she want to sit there and say James Gunn and DC is going to do that? Does she want to risk her career and 10, 15 years of her life and her career and doing that? So it's one of those things, like, where could she end up? Like, could she end up doing it? Maybe not, maybe so. I'm leaning one way, but I'd love to hear what you guys seem to think about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think about Margot Robbie. Do you think there is any chance that she comes back as Harley Quinn in the DCU? Let me know your thoughts.